Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Recently, I've noticed that I have a lot of hate in my heart for specific fighters, and so in today's video, we are going to go through my top 10 most hated fighters. Now, just to go over criteria real quick, this isn't over a whim, this is serious stuff that's happening here. Basically, in short, these are the top 10 fighters that I get the most joy out of seeing them face first, palms up on the canvas. I just want to see them flatlined. And it'll be a very enjoyable hate watch. So before we get into the top 10, I just want to go over a couple honorable mentions. These people did not make it to the list either because they already lost or because it's just not the same as it used to be, or I just don't hate them as much as these 10 fighters. But let's go through the honorable mentions real quick. Number 1, Movsar Evloev. He hasn't lost yet, and he really annoys me, but I wouldn't say I hate Movsar Evloev. I just really don't like the guy. He's the next guy that Volkanovski is going to face as well. So obviously I already don't like him because of that. And he's just boring. He's annoying. And he's talked a lot of shit on Twitter. A lot of fucking shit. But like, I would like to see him out cold, but at the same time, he doesn't spend any time in my mind because he's so boring. He's like not even part of the system. Next up, we have Brendan Allen. Brendan Allen, again, super annoying, but I have seen him flatlined by Strickland already, so I already did get some kind of satisfaction. I think also Chris Curtis flatlined him. And also, like, you have to feel bad for the guy because he is just, like, a little bit retarded. So you have to feel bad for him for that, so you can't hate him too much. There's a little bit of pity over there, but he is just really annoying to listen to. Next up, we have Bilal. If we're talking about Bilal before JDM, he would easily make the list, but because he already lost to JDM, and now he just lost 2 more times to Ian Gary, and then to Gabriel Bonfim, I kind of got it out of my system. I actually felt bad for him in the last fight. It sucks seeing somebody lose that many times, even though I really don't like the guy, and I hate the way he would trash talk back when he was winning. So Prime Bilal, easily top 5 on this list, but we are nowhere near Prime Bilal, clearly. Next up, we have Yusuf Zalal. He's just really fucking annoying, and he was talking shit to Volkanovski again. That will not be tolerated. But in that being said, he did just lose as well. Now, I would like to see him get flatlined, and he's still talking shit, but we did get that loss. And so, again, like, most of these fighters, if they lose, the fighters on my list, I won't hate them as much. I just want to see them lose badly, you know? Some of these fighters have just lost, and I want to see them lose again and worse. Next up, we have Adesanya. Again, in that same bracket of just, man, I already saw everything that can happen to this poor guy happen to this poor guy. So it's over. All men's are done. And last off, MVP. He is somebody who I would love to see face first on the canvas. But again, I have 10 people who I just hate more than him. That's really what it is. And I support what the UFC is doing, just giving him grapplers shamelessly to try to get rid of him. So the UFC and me are in agreements with this because you're not going to see him out cold, unfortunately, MVP. The way you're going to see him lose is by a smudge decision. Anyway, now that we've gone over the honorable mention, let's get right into the list itself, starting with number 10, Tofik Musayev. Now, I know you guys were expecting a little bit more of like a more famous fighter for my number 10 spot, but Tofik Musayev really pisses me the fuck off. If you don't know, Tofik Musayev just fought, what's his name? God damn it. Oh, I could look right here. God damn it. Ah, nice. That's why we're on the website. Ignacio Bahamondes. So, Tofik Musayev just fought Ignacio Bahamondes, and if you don't know, Ignacio dropped him badly, and then as Ignacio tried to suplex him, he grabbed the cage with 2 hands, stopping the suplex. He ends up getting out of it, gets on top of Ignacio, and ends up beating the fuck out of him, and ends up winning that fight. If he didn't grab the cage, he would have easily lost, and now Ignacio Bahamondes is coming off of a loss, and that sucks because Ignacio was just putting a beating on him. Besides that, Tofik Musayev has another fight in the UFC where he just got out-grappled and got submitted in round 1, by Uralbai, actually, I believe. And so he sucks, and the only way he won is by fucking cheating, and that was brutal to watch, and he ended up winning a decision, and I just fucking hate this guy. And you know how I know I hate him? I haven't thought of him in a while, and then when I was putting together this video of my top 10 most hated fighters, he came to mind right away, just because of how much I hated seeing him do that in the fight. And so he's fighting Ludovit Klein, and we will all pray to God that Ludovit Klein will flatline him. And he should. Like, this guy sucks. That's what I hate, is he's a fraud. He literally wouldn't win that fight otherwise. He shouldn't even be in the UFC. And he just frauded his way in. Fucking sucks. Didn't even get a point taken away. Just crazy. Or maybe he did. I don't think so, though. I don't think he got a point taken away. Whatever. Ridiculous. Let's move on to the next fighter. Whoops. How do I do this? Here. All right. Magomed Ankalaev, welcome to the show. We are still figuring out how to do this stuff. This is a new channel. Magomed Ankalaev, if I don't need to give you a reason, if you haven't seen his last fight, go watch it and then come back to me, and I apologize for making you watch it. He's just fucking boring. That's about it, isn't it? He's just fucking boring. I hated him. Like, when he beat Alex Pereira, I had a lot of hate in my heart for him because what the fuck, man, you just smudged him against the cage for 5 rounds, except for round 2 where you rocked him. So we'll give you that. But then Alex Pereira came and knocked him out, and my hate was gone. I was over it. We saw him get knocked out. Nobody really expected it. I didn't expect it, at least. I thought he was just going to smudge Alex Pereira a second time. It was a nice surprise getting that one. We saw him get knocked out, and I was ready to forgive. I was ready to make amends. You traded with Sean Strickland. All good in my heart. But then he's proceeded to, first of all, have a terrible fucking main event in his last fight that literally happened a couple days ago. That's why this is... He's actually who inspired me to make this video. Him and one other guy on the same card that we'll get to. But yeah, and then now he's talking shit to Alex Pereira. You know, he came out saying, "Oh, I was injured," as if Alex Pereira wasn't injured in like every single one of his fucking fights. All fighters fight injured, but when a Dagestani fucking loses, all of a sudden the injuries matter. You know, Umar Nurmagomedov fucking broke his arm in the Merab fight, so all of a sudden injuries play a part. But when Volkanovski takes a fight on short notice against Islam, nobody fucking talks about it except for us. But they don't. They just say he beat Volkanovski twice. Anyway, you're going to be seeing a lot of people with the EV at the end of their last name come up in this top 10 most hated fighters list, but he is the one of many, and I just don't like him. He's just boring. I would love to see him get knocked out again. And Yuri Prochazka, please, for the love of God, get rid of him. He's ruining the division. And speaking of ruining the light heavyweight division, guess who's right next? His partner in crime. These two are just together. This is my number 8 most hated fighter. Him and Magomedov, they could switch places. The only reason I have him slightly higher is because he's actively talking shit to Yuri Prochazka. That will not be tolerated. That will not be allowed. And he was the first one to make it cool to just make the light heavyweight division fucking suck. The two of them, Ankalaev and Ulberg, are just murdering the light heavyweight division. Single-handedly taking every bit of excitement that I have for this division out. Carlos Ulberg fucking knocked out Yuri Prochazka. Look at this guy. Look how happy he should be, you know? He's one of my favorite fighters. Top 3 favorite fighters, Yuri Prochazka. And this motherfucker knocks him out and then proceeds to talk shit about him. Who do you think you are talking shit about Yuri Prochazka? Has no personality. He was at the fights, in like last card, just sitting there with fucking glasses, looking fat as fuck because he injured his fucking knee, so he's just holding up the division. And now we're going to have to talk about an interim title with Magomedov and probably Paulo Costa. And if Magomedov wins, we get to watch a title fight of Magomedov versus Carlos Ulberg, and that's going to be the worst fucking fight you could ever put on in MMA history, but at least one of them will lose. So I fucking hate this guy. He was saying about Yuri, you know, I don't think Yuri had mercy. I just think I'm better than him. No, bro. Yuri Prochazka, when you have an injured knee and Yuri Prochazka is giving you a chance, you better fucking thank him that you got lucky and knocked him out. Don't come out talking shit about Yuri. Don't do that, man. Oh, I think he's a fake samurai. Shut up. Shut up, man. I hate you. So, that's our number 8 in the rankings. I don't have to prove most of this. You can see how angry I am about these guys. But let's move on to number 7. Khabib Abdulmanapovich Nurmagomedov. Khabib Nurmagomedov, he is one of 2 retired fighters that we have in this list. For the most part, we don't have retired fighters in this list because that's it. Once you retire, I have nothing against you anymore because you're not going to get flatlined. And we're assuming that whatever you did to annoy me stopped the second you retired. But that is not the case for Khabib Nurmagomedov. First of all, let's just talk about his legacy, what he left behind, which is a whole bunch of fucking annoying fans in every single comment section. No matter what happens, these Khabib fans come out of the woodworks. Conor McGregor tries to come back, fucks up his knee. All these guys coming out as if they did something. Shut up. The other thing that he did is he made wrestling cool. Fuck you, man. You guys saw the last card in Abu Dhabi. That's Khabib who you have to thank for that. He single-handedly inspired all of those Dagestanis to clinch and hug against the cage and take you down and do 0 damage. Even though Khabib, I don't think he was the most boring Dagestani. He was one of the most entertaining Dagestanis. He landed a lot of ground and pound, had heavy punches, and would go for finishes. But all these other people grew up watching this motherfucker and had no damage, no submissions. All they do is smudge, as we saw in the last card. So because of that, fuck you. And then the last thing, and this is why he's on this list really, even though he's retired, is he's still going at it. He's still being annoying as fuck. Maybe it's Ali Abdelaziz. Maybe half of the fighters that I have in my top 10 hated most fighters is just Ali Abdelaziz tweeting for them, and maybe Ali should just be number 1. But we're going to assume that you know what you're doing by giving him your Twitter, and he just tweets nonstop. And what I hate the most out of everything, and this is really what I hate, is he's actively scamming his fans. Every other day, Khabib has another crypto scam on his fucking Twitter. One day he's using his father's name for it. Another day he's doing this. It's fucking disgusting, man. And like, I don't care. It's never gonna affect me or anybody that I know because none of us are gonna fucking follow Khabib or do any of his scams. But you're taking advantage of your millions of followers by scamming them. And so I don't like you for that. And I don't care that you're retired. I still hate you. And you live in my heart with hate. So let's move on to the next fighter. Khamzat Chimaev. There's another one. We have another EV on the list. Khamzat Chimaev, I know he's coming off of a loss. He might be the only fighter here who's coming off of a loss that I can think of. I don't know. I might be wrong. But it wasn't enough. I want to see you out cold. I thought it would be enough. It was a very satisfying loss. But that was by decision. And since then, he's been doing nothing but talking shit. You'd think he'd be respectful, but he isn't. Look, if you lose and you're respectful, I can let it slide. But he's not being respectful. He's calling out for a rematch, making excuses with his fucking weight cut. You have the whole Jackson podcast coming together as a, all fucking coping together as a group, like an AA meeting. Oh, man, it's been so... How have you been holding on since Khamzat Chimaev lost? Fuck off. I'd love to see it happen again, and I'd love to see him get finished so we don't have all these people fucking saying robbery. They have 7 excuses. It was a robbery, and he missed weight, and this and that. Like, shut up. Fuck this guy. And I feel like he's always starting fights with people, too. I just don't like him. I don't like him, and I need to see him out cold. Just think of it. Just picture Khamzat Chimaev out cold on the canvas. Isn't that just, like, amazing? And we didn't get to see it yet. So, let's see him. You know what? Let's see him against, like, a Joe Pyfer. That's the kind of matchups I want to make. Let's give him the Israel Adesanya type of matchups. Just killer after killer. Joe Pyfer. Let's see him against RoboCop. If RoboCop beats Fluffy, which I don't think he will. But if he does, put him against RoboCop. I want to see something. Let's move on to my next most hated fighter. This is number 5. Welcome to the gang, Gable Steveson. You have one fight in the UFC. As for some reason, people with like one fight in the UFC, all you have to do is a little bit. You're making it to the list. You're already on the list. You annoy the shit out of me. That's not the worst thing he did. Obviously, just look up Gable Loophole Steveson, and you'll see what the real problem with this guy is. He should not be in the UFC. He shouldn't be allowed to fight. He shouldn't be free. He should be in prison right now. If you don't know, look it up. Look up Gable Steveson loophole, and you'll see what the fuck. It's not even a joke. Like, look, is it a problem that I have 4 people ahead of him who have not done anything near the crimes that he has done? Not really, because more so, it's not what he did, which is obviously very bad. He's also just very annoying. Like, it's not worse. No, it's not worse. But it's almost as bad, his personality. He has no personality. If you guys saw I'd give it a 6 or a 7. 6 or a 7. Shut up. No personality. And it would also, again, he comes with all these fans. He got the Bo Nickel fan base. Bo Nickel, we already saw him flatline. So he makes it nowhere near the list. I want Gable Steveson to get the same treatment. I just want to see Gable Steveson flatline. It's all I'm asking for. Just a little flatline here. And it's going to happen, by the way. That's what's so beautiful about this. Very soon, he's going to be off of this list because he's going to be fighting a heavyweight who is not fucking dog shit, and they will knock him the fuck out because he's terrible. He's not good, and he annoys me. Very annoying. And again, he's literally a criminal who should be in prison. Let's move on to the next fighter, and this is a recent one. Ramazan Temirov, welcome to the team. Ramazan Temirov, Look, okay, so here's the story. Ramazan popped for steroids, and then he comes back and knocks out Steve Erceg, I'm literally out here calling you Match Now because of how much you're getting knocked out. Please stop it. Look at Steve Erceg. Look at him right over here in the corner of the screen. Look how they massacred my boy. It's so sad, man. And usually if somebody knocks out my favorite fighter, that's okay. He's not my favorite fighter. One of my favorite fighters, it's fine. But if you popped for steroids right before, didn't get that win overturned, and then come back and knock out Steve Erceg, I'm going to have a problem with you, bro. And I'm going to want to see you knock the fuck out. And so that's why you're here, bro. He's literally the reason I made this list. Because I was just sitting there hating on him for 30 minutes in my head. I can't fucking believe he's getting away with it. He shouldn't be allowed to get away with what he did. He's literally cheating in the sport at the highest level. And it just shouldn't be allowed. It shouldn't be okay. If you pop for steroids, you should be out of the sport. You cheated. You got caught cheating. You don't get to play anymore. That's how it should be. If you're playing a game with your friends and they cheated, you're not playing anymore. It's not like, okay, well, go sit there for 5 minutes, think about what you've done, and then come back and you get to keep the same cards that you used when you cheated. That's not how this fucking works, So he really pisses me off, and he knocked out Steve Erceg. And so just for that, I already hate you. And again, like I said in my last video, let's book him against Manel Kopp. I want to see something. All right? Let's move on to the number 3 most hated fighter of mine, Jonathan Jones. It's pretty funny that like the UFC just has his full body on. If you didn't notice, like it isn't like that for this guy. It isn't like that for this guy. But then Jon Jones, they show the whole body. It's like, yo, you got to see this. They don't even want you to think Jon Jones was in shape at the end of his career. You got to see what Jon Jones is working with towards the end. If anything, this makes his legacy better because look how fucking fat he is. Jon Jones, by the way, I have him nowhere near anywhere in the GOAT conversation for multiple reasons. First of all, so let's just go down a list of things that Jon Jones has done. He assaulted his wife. His kids had to call the cops on him for that. He hit a pregnant woman with a car. He was. I feel like every other week we hear a story about John Jones and what he did on the streets of Albuquerque. I feel like the cops in Albuquerque just get a call once a month, and it's like, officer, this guy, he almost hit me with his car, then came out and started yelling at me. And their first question is like, was he 6'3" and black? Yep, that's another John Jones case. Another John Jones case. Reported to the office, to the fucking commander or whatever they have, to the captain. John Jones is at it again. I feel like that's all he does. He just runs around Albuquerque and terrorizes people. And besides for that, he's a fucking cheater, popped for steroids, cheats literally, like keeping his fingers out at all times. That's not cool. If you win by cheating, as we'll get to in a second, I don't value that as a win. I don't actually accept your wins as wins if you cheated to get those wins. You're not going to be in the greatest of all time conversation if you didn't do anything great. You just cheated more than other people. So for all those reasons, I hate John Jones. He's also just super annoying. Alex Pereira will get knocked out by Cyril Gahn, and he can do nothing but fucking hate on him when that happens. Like, fuck you, man. Nobody gets to hate on Alex Pereira and get clear from that. And so you made it to the list. That's what happens to you. I also just fucking hate this guy. I don't like him. When I see him, all I think is fuck. And he also has those fucking annoying fans. And I hate that he's undefeated. He's not undefeated. He lost to Reyes. And if he didn't lose to Reyes because you value so much what it fucking says, then he lost to Matt Hamill, right? If on paper he lost to Matt Hamill, and not on paper he lost to Reyes. So pick which one it is. He has a loss, regardless. So I fucking hate this guy, John Jones. I hate that he beat Cyril Gahn, and then dipped basically, and then ducked Tom Aspinall for fucking 2 years, ruined 2 years. Him and Cyril Gahn, which, you know, we'll get to him. Him and Cyril Gahn have just been ruining Tom Aspinall's career. They're playing touch butt. Fucking, now you ruin his career. Then I'll ruin his career. So fuck you, man. Let's move on to my second most hated fighter. Excuse me. There we go. Ian Machado Gary, I guess. I fucking hate this guy. This is, you know, we don't have to really, we're all hating on him right now as a collective. This is the time to strike. Nobody likes him at all. Ian Machado Gary, super fucking annoying. That's what I'll say. I don't have as much hate for him. He just annoys the fuck out of me. I had to listen to that hour-and-a-half interview because I was going to make a video about it, and I just did it at the end because everybody and their grandmother did. But I listened to that fucking interview. That was fucking hell. I'm convinced that when I get to hell, they're just going to force me to listen to that hour-and-a-half interview with Ian Gary talking about how he had to clean the gutters with his hands. My nails would get dirty. Yeah? I'm going to have to listen to that on repeat in hell. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, because I don't know what's worse than that. I fucking hate this guy. Listen, it's very weird with Ian Gary, because multiple times he could have salvaged his career. Actually, the first I heard of him, I was watching an MMA on Point video, and they were talking about this up-and-coming Irish fighter. He was undefeated, and they're like, oh, he's going to be something. So I looked out for him. I remember he was fighting Neil Magny, and I was like, ooh, this should be interesting. Let's see what's going on over here. And then he decides to hate on Jeff Neal and Neil Magny back-to-back, fan favorite fighters, and, you know, basically calling out Neil Magny for making a bad joke. And he made it sound like he was actually abusing his children. What the fuck are you doing, man? And I feel like that's when the hate started. It was building up. The cuck things came out. And then when he fought Shavkat was the perfect opportunity for him to become a liked fighter. All he had to do after almost beating Shavkat, he almost beat him. He lost a 48-47 clear decision. There's nothing controversial about it. He lost the fight. And he'll make you... So he loses. All you have to do is stay silent. But instead, he comes out and he just had to talk. He just, like, he'll make you think that he won that fight. Yeah, where's Shavkat Rakhmonov? Yeah, what happened to him after I fought him? You know, like as if he beat Shavkat. You lost to Shavkat, destroyed his knees in the process. So now, not just are we stuck with you, we also don't have Shavkat anymore. So fuck you for that too. And so he ruined that because he could have just stayed quiet like Volkanovski versus Islam the first fight, and everyone would have praised Ian Gary for taking that fight at short notice. But instead, he had to come out and give himself the credit. Oh, he took that fight on short notice. Before me, Shavkat had finished every single one of his opponents. Shut up, man. We're supposed to give you credit. You're not supposed to give yourself credit. And so everybody started hating him again. And then for this fight, for the Islam fight, I feel like everybody was slowly like coming around to rooting for Ian Gary. He's been quiet. He hasn't said anything. All you had to do to not fuck this up is stay quiet, and people already are rooting against Islam Makhachev, they would automatically root for you. But he couldn't help himself. He just had to do an hour-and-a-half interview where he was an obnoxious piece of shit for the whole entire thing, and nobody could stand him. And so now everyone's back to hating him. That's what you do. Stop opening your fucking mouth. I think if we listen to women, women should rule the world. The world would be a much better place if women just ruled it. Shut up, man. What are you doing? She's not going to let you hit, bro. Your wife is not going to let you hit. And so for that reason, he is my number 2 most hated fighter. He pisses me off. And before his interview, I was really rooting for him. I was like, man, it would be pretty cool if he beat Islam. I'm rooting for Islam. Look what you did to me. I'm literally rooting for Islam Makhachev. That's how much I hate you. Would it be hilarious if Ian Gary somehow won anyway? Yes, it would be hilarious. Do I want it? But if I had to pick who to see out cold, Islam Makhachev or Ian Gary, I would pick Ian Gary in a heartbeat. Just to see how he fucking copes with that shit. How is he ever going to come back from his face being on the fucking canvas out cold? So let's move on to my most hated fighter. I think you guys know who this is. This is pretty obvious in my opinion. It's obviously Alexander Volkanovski. I fucking can't stand this guy. He's a fucking bald guy, always talking shit. Just, he needs to be humble. I'm kidding. He's my favorite fighter. I love Alexander Volkanovski. I couldn't even hold it on for that long because I fucking love this guy. Look at this fucking guy. No, he's my favorite fighter. But obviously my most hated fighter is Cyril Bongamin Gan. Bongamin means good boy, I'm pretty sure. And that's anything but what he is. I fucking hate this guy. If you need to know why, I made an hour-long video going over every single one of this guy's fucking fouls. And yes, you heard me right, an hour-long video, because that's how many he has. That's about it. There's nothing else to it. He just fouls every single one of his opponents. He's coming off of a win against Alex Pereira, but you can't really call it a win because he used like 10 fouls. What was it at the end? I think it was like 7 that we saw clear back of the headshots in that fight. And so how are you going to call that TKO? Before that, eye-poking Tom Aspinall. I don't have to go through every single foul. I made a fucking video on it. Go watch it if you haven't already. Or watch it again. Who cares? Give me more views. Why not? The point is, I fucking hate this guy. And the real problem is, he's the least likely to see out cold of all these guys. Even though I think Tom Aspinall will beat him. So maybe I take that back. I just am having a hard time right now picturing Cyril Gane out cold. He looks like he has a good chin. And that really scares me. Because I really want to see him out cold. I don't want to see him lose a decision. Not enough. I don't want to see him fucking tap out to John Jones in a minute and make every single other fighter who fights him look bad. I want to see him out cold on the canvas. And it's just, it's more satisfying than Ian Gary in my opinion. It'll just be such a culmination of everything this fucking guy has done. Just cheating nonstop. He has to pay. We need to see him out cold for justice. It's just, God has to do this. Like, if he doesn't get knocked out by Tom Aspinall, there is no God. That's what I'll be forced to believe. Because then there's no justice. There's no right, you know? So I hate this guy. He's my most hated fighter, as he should be your most hated fighter, and I want to see him out cold. And that is my top 10 fighters list. I hope you enjoyed a little bit of a different style video for today. And don't worry, we'll be back with breakdowns in a couple days for this weekend's card, which fucking sucks. So whatever. It's not actually that bad, but the main event is fucking atrocious. So yeah, we'll see you in that video. That's all I have for today. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see ya.